Yeah, right. If that's what it is, it's mine.
You have anything to know? Just stick everything in. Blues and you know Miss.
I do. That's my ex-wife's name.
Okay. Do you know?
Sorry.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
this. Oh yeah. We're getting on it. Oh yes.
Here we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity San Francisco, and wonderful Sunday morning it is.
Yes, it is. Can we have some love for the band?
Woo!
Quick reminder, if you haven't already done
I don't hear your microphone.
You don't hear me?
Are you on? I'll say, quick reminder, please turn off your cell phones and turn on your microphones, if you have them. But turn off your cell phones so they don't go off during service. And welcome to Unity San Francisco. We're so glad you're here. And as you noticed, we do a you should be gone on.
Am I live now? Hi, everybody.
I'm Reverend Ken Daigle.
And I'm Reverend Deanne Morency.
And we have the pleasure of serving this community, and we're so glad that you're all here today.
I've missed everybody. I haven't been here because of World Day of Prayer and a prayer retreat that I was leading online. I haven't been here for an entire month, you guys. So I miss you all. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, forget that because I see you during the week.
I know. And you're going to get me 3 weekends in October, so you'll get your fill of me again.
And some good stuff coming up for November. She has a special treat for us in November. We have lots going on today, so we're going to go ahead and dive in. And we start every service with meditation and with prayer. So I invite you to get comfortable, to let the chair and this floor and this building hold you. You know, let Deanne and Misa take us away.
Mistakes that I made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dreams I've left behind. I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside. Oh, light.
So we breathe into this space, this place that is light, that is the very truth of the I am that we all are. So we open our hearts, we quiet the mind, and we welcome this deeper awareness of our wholeness, of our grace, of our joy, of our light. So no matter what it is that we are carrying with us this day, whether it might be the mistakes that we have made, whether it might be a regret that we are carrying for something we did or we did not do. Right here, right now, the invitation is to lay it down. As we stand, as I stand in the awareness that there truly is only one life, one power, one breath, one beingness. That no matter how broken we may feel, we are never broken. We are whole at the root of our root, at the core of our core. And that our capacity to heal, our capacity to make amends, both for ourselves and for the world, is guiding, supporting, speaking in ways that we can understand. So in this moment, I'm going to invite us to rest in the silence for a few minutes as we anchor this understanding. I am light. I am whole. Let's rest in the silence. How good it is to be still and know. To touch, to become awake and aware to the truth of our being. I am light, you are light, we are light. The divinity that we are expressing so beautifully, so magnificently. How grateful I am for this opportunity to be still and know I am light.
I am divinity defined. I am God on the inside. I am a star shining peace over it all. I am light, light, light. Oh, light.
And so it is. Amen. Ashe. Thank you, Misa. Thank you, everyone. Oh, we have quite a treat in store for everyone today. So if there is something that you're carrying in your heart that you're carrying and that you would like some support in being able to set it aside and to let the truth of who you are become more present and palpable, the prayer chaplains are available. They're available after service. They'll be scattered around the back of the sanctuary. You can grab anyone with a white stole, and they'd be happy to pray with you. You can also fill out a prayer request form, which is in the box over here in our prayer chaplain corner. And if you're watching online, there is a prayer request link if you're watching on our live stream page that you can click and you can send a prayer request, and it will be held in this incredible field of prayer. So right now, if you look in your pockets in front of your chairs, there's a program with a spiritual connection card on there. So I'm going to invite you to tear that off right now. I want to hear all those tearing sounds. And if you're watching on our live stream, near where the prayer request button is, there's a spiritual connection card button, so you can fill this out online as well. And for right now, I'd just like you to fill out the front of the card. We're looking for your name, your address. If you'd like to update any of your contact information, please do so. Email address. If this is your first time with us, please let us know that. We do have a gift for you, and the connection cards are how we're able to stay connected with all of you, and also how you can stay connected with us. So please feel free to write any comments that you'd like Ken and I to know about, anything that you would like held in prayer. This is one way that we're able to connect and reach out with each other. So while you're doing that, I am going to invite our magnificent choir ensemble to come on up here for our first community song, All the Good. So when you're ready, rise as you're willing and able.
So we learned this one last week. Today you get to sing it with us, all right? So we want you to stand on your feet, lift those voices in joyous love. Add your unique instrument to the melody of life, yes? All right, here we go. Bang, go on, Brian.
All the good that I can do.
to me, you know. Everybody! So, woo, I can't talk over the music in here, but we are going to kick this now back up to the platform, and Reverend Deanne on platform.
All right, everybody. Woo! We're going to come on back in. I know we're having so much fun. So I'm going to invite everybody to come on back to their seats. We, of course, as always, have a wonderful hospitality that'll be happening downstairs. There's so much food. So we'll be able to continue the kibitzing and the connecting downstairs
yes,
after
we do.
service.
We do. Yes. Yes, you're on.
So it is now time for Why I Give. And our very own J.D. Schramm is here with us today, and he is going to speak to us, but I need the other slides first so I can tell people how to give. One more, Thomas?
No.
It's not there. Okay, so if you, there are envelopes in the chair backs in front of you, and we will be, there's a basket at the door as you're leaving. You can also put your connection cards in there as well. If you're watching online, we have a button you can click that will allow you to be able to donate if you're watching on our live stream. It's in the description if you're on YouTube or Facebook. And you can also text to donate. You text 54321, you text Unity SF to 54321, and you can be set up really easily to be able to give to Unity San Francisco. So I'm going to invite JD to come on up here and share why it is that he gives to Unity San Francisco. JD.
Thank you. I like that. Am I on? Did I do everything correctly? Yes. Wow, it's just awesome to be able to stand here for a moment and breathe in and take in the depth and the power of the energy in this room. And to be honest, why I give is because of the depth and the power and the energy in this room. All right. Thank you very much. Many of you know that Ken and I are a single-sex, multi-faith family, and we support both Unity of San Francisco as well as my Catholic parish. And we get fed in different ways by both traditions, and we get fed in awesome spiritual ways by individuals, by people who lead classes or organizations that they create or shows that they produce. And so we love being able to sit down, we do it 3 or 4 times a year, depending on how our income is fluctuating, and look at what is 10% of gross. Tithe actually means 10%, or biblically, the first tenth. And so farmers would harvest the first tenth of their crops, and that's what would go back to the community. And so we look at what is that tenth, and are we giving at the level that we want to support the places and the people and how we are spiritually fed. And without question, this sacred space and the people who make it up are what draws us to keep contributing. And I invite you, as you think about your commitment to Unity of San Francisco, to think about what is it that you benefit from, and can you then proportionally return back so that your blessings can continue to bless all of us, just as each of you continues to bless all of us. Namaste.
So we have an affirmation that we say over our offerings. So I'm going to invite you to just think about all the ways that you give of your time, your talent, and your treasure, right? And I'm going to say this affirmation first, and I'm going to invite you then to repeat it after me. I give with abundant love and joy As I give, I receive. Can we please know this together? I give with abundant love and joy. As I give, I receive. And so it is. Amen. And you guys are about to receive something truly phenomenal right now, which is Dear Evan Hansen. I'm going to turn this over to Ken and our choir ensemble.
Thank you, Deanne, and thank you everybody for being here. So first, I just want to say that this is the first time since COVID, since March of 2020, that we've had the choir back with us. Woo! Wow, and breathe into that, and thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being vaccinated, to be in the room with us, to create this safe place, and thank you for everybody who's joining us online to be part of this experience, because as Deanne just mentioned, it's an experience we're creating for you here today, and it's taken weeks and weeks of work by all these amazing artists, and they're here to illuminate some of the teachings for us, and that we can see in a different way. You know, in Unity, we look at a lot of things differently. One of the things is we look at Scripture differently. We don't look at it the same way that some mainline religious organizations might. We look at it as metaphor and as an indication of a greater truth in our lives. But more than that, we just don't take the Bible literally. We don't think it's historical fact. We think it's stories about our spiritual journey. But greater than that, what we do is we feel that every story of Scripture, whatever Scripture it is a representation of our own path, and that every character in those stories represents some aspect of our own life and our own journey. And when we look at the stories as that, we get value from them. So today, we're going to look at something different. We're going to look at a secular piece written in this century. It's a story about a man named Dear Evan Hansen, and the show is called Dear Evan Hansen. It's about a young man with severe social anxiety and mental health issues. He was bullied and ridiculed and ignored at school and in his life. And so much so that he was in therapy, seeing a therapist, probably on medication, and struggling just to show up every day. And God knows, we've all been there. And God knows that there are enough people in our families and our lives that have been there too. So what we're going to do today that's different, though, is we're not going to have a single person up here representing Evan Hansen. Every one of our main singers here, Ryan and Ruby and Cleo and Callie and myself, and Carl right there, at different points, and in every point will represent Evan Hansen. And we invite you to be part of that too. And while this show is set in the families that you're about to hear from, the families of this troubled man and this school, I would like you to look at this story the same way that we look at the Bible, as a reflection of our own lives and a reflection of what we're all going through together. So I invite you again to suspend disbelief and come with us on this journey to this parts of ourselves. The story of these two families struggling just how to make it through another day.
Have you been writing those letters to yourself? Dear Evan Hansen, this is gonna be a good day, and here's why.
I started one.
Those letters are important, honey. They're gonna help you build your self-confidence.
I guess.
Can we try to have an optimistic outlook? Can we buck up just enough to see the world won't fall apart? Maybe this year we decide we're not giving up before we try. This year we'll make a new start. So, Why don't you go to school and have the kids sign your cast? How about that?
Perfect.
Look, I'm proud of you already.
Oh, good.
Another stellar conversation for the scrapbook. Another stumble as I'm reaching for the right words to say. Now I'm kinda coming up empty. I can't find my way to you. Does anybody have a map? Anybody maybe happen to know how the hell to do this? I don't know if I can tell, but it's just me just pretending to know. So where's the map? I need a clue. Cause the funny truth is I'm flying high and I'm making this up as I go.
It's your senior year, Connor. You are not missing the first day.
I already said I'd go tomorrow.
Look at him, he doesn't listen. He's probably high.
Oh, he's definitely high. I don't want you going to school high, Connor.
Perfect. So then I won't go.
Another masterful attempt ends with disaster. Pour another cup of coffee and watch it all crash and burn. It's a puzzle, it's a maze. I try to steer through it a million ways, but each day's another wrong turn.
Does anybody
have a map or happen to know how the hell to do this? I don't know if you can tell, but this is me just pretending to know. So where's the map?
I need a clue.
Cause the scary truth is
I'm flying blind.
I'm flying blind.
And I'm making this up as I go.
As I go.
I'm making this up as I go too. and some days between the kids and the jobs and the families and the pandemic and the people and the family and my mom and my dad, I don't see the map, right? But we know there is a map. We know there is one. We know our spiritual practices. We know the teachings of unity. We know the principles. And at the same time, when we get in those conversations with our family members and all that history comes running back and they give you that attitude, or you hear it in their voice and determine that's what they're thinking, and then you respond and all of a sudden you're off to the races, those moments, just like these moms, struggling to figure out how to connect with the person in their family that isn't seeming to be reachable at the moment, we can feel lost. We can feel alone. And there's something within us that needs that connection, and it keeps misfiring. It keeps not happening the way we need it to happen. And that longing is exemplified in this song, in this show, in the human journey. How difficult it's been for the last year and a half to stay connected to people, to stay connected to family, to not be overwhelmed by everything that we have to go through. We can come here. We can take a class on Zoom. We can remember to unmute ourselves again and again and again. And we can try to have that connection. And we can come here now on Sundays and have a deep and moving connection and get a hug or a fist bump or be in the physical proximity of others. And it's still, there is something weighing on us. Imagine if you're not struggling with anything else, but imagine if you were navigating all of this with anxiety, depression, with mental health issues, on top of everything else that you and I are having to face every day. And to feel like you're not understood or it doesn't make any sense to you. How difficult it could even be to begin conversations. And then when you add that layer of our modern life, the technology, the Zoom, our phones, everything that does connect us, but also can drive us further away. Have you been ghosted, right? Have you been not answered over and over and over again? Have you experienced what they call catfishing, where someone pretending to be someone else is texting with you? Phishing schemes. The depression that's being caused in us and our children because of the unrealistic images that keep bombarding them on their social media, and their studies that prove that it causes depression in children, and yet we keep going on this cycle. That technology that's supposed to connect us can also push people further and further away. In many ways, we have turned away from each other and turned into our devices. This pandemic has only exacerbated the trend, and as human beings, we long for connection, to be seen and known.
I've learned to slam on the brake before I even turn the key.
Before I make a mistake, before I lead with the worst of me,
Give them no reason to stare, no slipping up if you slip away.
So I've got nothing to share. No, I've got nothing to say. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you learned, On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I watching people pass, waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me?
We start with stars in our eyes.
we start believing that we belong.
But every sun doesn't rise.
And no one tells you that you went wrong.
Step
Out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you learn, On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass, waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving?
falling in a forest and there's nobody around. Do you ever really crash or even make a sound when you're falling in a forest?
Nobody around. You ever really crash or just make a sound?
When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in the forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? It's like I never made a sound. Will I ever make a sound? On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass,
Thank you, guys. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, that song, Tapping on the Glass, right? Stuck in the phones. We've all been there. My kids know how important our phones are. They always want our devices. They know what takes us away from them. So dear Evan Hansen, in the story, Evan, at this point, is still struggling. And the media, the social media, and the pressure of it is just on top of him. And his mom, as you heard, sent him to school that day with the assignment to write the Dear Evan Hansen letter. But the day didn't go as he planned. It was a disaster on many levels. And the letters were an assignment that we would call an affirmation, right? Or for my absolute abundance students, they're like the intention starting for the day. Set your intention by writing yourself a letter in the day so that you can start it and have a great day, right? This is what we all do. It's part of our spiritual practice. But for Evan, it doesn't go well. And that day, he writes a second letter at school in the library, and it goes like this. Dear Evan Hansen, as it turns out, it wasn't an amazing day after all. This isn't going to be an amazing week or an amazing year, because why would it be? I wish everything was different. I wish I was part of something. I wish that anything I said mattered to anyone. I mean, face it. Would anyone even notice if I disappeared tomorrow? Sincerely, your most and dearest friend, me. And as he prints out the letter in the story, in the play, it's stolen by the other kid we met earlier, Connor. And Connor won't give it back. Evan and Connor aren't friends. And Connor runs away with the letter. What we discover and what we find out is Connor, of course, is struggling himself, and that's why he's constantly high. He's, in fact, suicidal, and that day takes his life. And when his parents find him and they find the body, they find on him this letter that says, Dear Evan Hansen, and they think it's his suicide note. And they think it's meant for Evan. When the parents come to the school to meet Evan and to hand him the note, to give it to him and to talk to him, Evan is just taken aback. He tries to tell them that this letter wasn't intended, it's not what you think it is, but they're so overwhelmed in their grief, and he is so incredibly awkward and frightened that he just can't tell them. So he tries to explain again, but he couldn't tell them that his son died alone and friendless. So as they press him about their friendship, he tells them about a vision he has in his head, a vision for what friendship would really be, and a fantasy of the life that he longs for. Carl's going to tell us about that.
End of May or early June, this picture-perfect afternoon we shared. Drive the winding country road and grab a scoop at a la mode, and then we're there. There's an open field that's framed with trees. We pick a spot to shoot the breeze like buddies do. Quoting songs by our favorite bands, telling jokes no one understands except us two. And we talk and take in the view. All we see is sky for forever. We let the world pass by for forever. Feels like we could go on for forever this way. Two friends on a perfect day. Walk while and talk about the things we'll do when we get out of school. Bike the Appalachian Trail, or write a book, or learn to sail. Wouldn't that be cool? There's nothing that we can't discuss, like girls we wish would notice us, but never do. He looks around and says to me, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. And I say, me too. And we talk and take in the view. We just talk and take in the view. All we see is sky for forever. We let the world pass by for forever. Feels like we could go on for forever this way, this way. All we see is light for forever, 'cause the sun burns bright for forever. Like we'll be alright for forever this way. Two friends on a perfect day. All we see is light for forever. All we see is sky for forever. Like we could go on for forever this way, this way. All we see is light, 'cause the sun shines bright. Like we'll be alright for forever this way. True friends on a perfect day.
Carl Pantel. Thank you, babe. Perfect day. We all know that when you visualize, you create, right? Is some of the things that have made my life so much better. And so Evan visualizes this life that he wants for himself, this story he tells the family, and he gets caught up in the lie. They ask more questions, and he keeps building on this lie until it's well out of control, but it's also sucking him in because the family is wealthy and has a mom and a dad, and the yard, and the perfect life, it seems, to this kid's eyes. And he keeps just going forward, perpetuating the story. He gets caught in it and doesn't know how to get out. At school, they decide that they're going to do a memorial for Connor. And the authors of this show actually talk about the reason they wrote it was that they noticed that a teen suicide in their community, that all these kids and all these families gathered around. And everyone all of a sudden was friends with these bullied and isolated kids. And they told stories about them and made up communities and fundraising to help the kids. And that the whole story is based on this idea of how tragedy brings us together. But in this case, how a tragedy and a continuation of a lie brought them together. But the school decides to put a memorial together for Connor and for the victims of suicide. And so I'm going to invite the music team forward once again. And I invite you to take in, this is just a momentary glimpse into what we lose daily in this world.
forgotten.
No one deserves to fade away.
No one deserves to disappear.
No one deserves to disappear. No one deserves to be forgotten. No one deserves.
Okay, let's start over.
Alex.
Alex, you know where we are? And Thomas, could you go back?
Disappear. Yes.
No one deserves to be forgotten.
No one deserves to fade.
No one deserves to disappear. No one should flicker out or have any doubt that it matters that they are here. No one deserves disappear.
Okay, Misa, take it.
No. I love you, Unity San Francisco, but you know how we get down, right? We don't get down like that. So we're going to start this from the beginning, okay? Take a moment, take a breath. Breathe it in. There are no mistakes. There are only opportunities to learn and be better. Yes. Okay? There are no mistakes. So, band, are you ready?
No one deserves to be forgotten.
No one deserves to fade away.
No one deserves to disappear.
No one deserves to disappear.
No one should flicker out or have any doubt that it matters that they are here. No one deserves to disappear. To disappear. Disappear.
Yeah, these kids that you see on the screen, all have taken their lives, and all are being honored by their families on memorials across the internet. Just a little glimpse of what we lose.
Disappear.
That longing we all have to make a difference, to reach those kids, that's what those mothers were feeling in the first song. That pain of not being able to connect with the one you love. Unimaginable pain that families all around the world deal with. And we don't talk about enough. I know we all do what we can, all the time, like the song we just sang. And my husband does 4 hours a week on a text crisis line, talking to people, stopping countless moments like that for families. There's a human longing for us and divine possibility within us. No matter what age we are, no matter what our circumstances of our lives and births are. That connection that we teach and we know in unity, the connection that is the divine within us, and we have everything we need. It's right here, and we don't need a minister, we don't need an intermediary. We can connect to that power and presence. So Evan Hansen stands up at this memorial and speaks a deep spiritual truth. He tells it from a place of knowing, that place that can't be separated, the part of us all that always sees and knows the deeper truth. I invite the music team to continue with You Will Be Found.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere?
Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear?
When you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. Oh, someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
So Evan speaks from that place within him that is always connected to spirit and truth. He speaks those words from his heart, and they land on very fertile ground. Someone was filming the memorial, and it gets picked up, put on YouTube and across the internet, and shared until more and more people are listening to what he has to say.
There's a place where we don't have to feel unknown.
Oh my God, everyone needs to see this.
And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone. I can't stop watching this video. Only say you've saved the
Take 5 minutes, this will make your day.
From across the silence, your voice is heard.
That video starts making a difference. Connor's foundation takes off. They build a memorial park for his supposed friend, and more people come to the story. Evan is lifted up in ways he could never imagine, because what he said, the truth he spoke in those words, struck a chord, and people joined in and amplified the message. People all over the world, strangers that he had never met, took up the story of this young man and the mission he spoke of, that you will be found.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. When you need someone to carry you, when you're broken on the ground.
Thank you. Even in the midst of all that truth, all it did for Evan was point out his inconsistencies and his lies. While everyone resonated with what he said, he was living this big lie, and the attention magnified his deception. You see, the problem is that you can't visualize and create your life based on a lie. It's different when we say, affirming, I am healthy. We're focusing on the part of us that is whole and healthy, and we're magnifying that. We're not lying about the conditions of our lives. We're not lying about the physical realities, but we're affirming the one part that we want to grow. Because Evan's success is built on this huge deception. Karma, of course, wins out. He can't maintain it, and the truth is known. And everything he had, everything he thought he was getting, all came crashing down around him. And everyone involved, Connor's family, his friends, all were traumatized again because they were deceived. Evan eventually ends up feeling worse about himself. At this point in the story, Evan sings a song, and he sings these words: "Nothing can make sense of all the things I've done. And I'd rather pretend I'm something better than these broken parts. Pretend rather than letting people see the worst of me. Because what if they saw? Would they like what they saw? Or would they hate it too?" And those words resonate for me because it goes to a principle we talk about here all the time. There's a difference between guilt and shame. And guilt is, I've done something wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize for it. I make good. Shame is, I am wrong. There's something fundamentally flawed in me. And that's what Evan feels. That he did something wrong, that he is just broken parts. And so he has to come clean. He has to face what he's done and face the pain he causes. And he returns to the one place he knows he can always go. The one place where he's held and loved.
It was a February day when your dad came by before going away. A U-Haul truck in the driveway. The day it was suddenly real. I told you not to come outside, but you saw that truck and you smiled so wide. A real-life truck in your driveway. We let you sit behind the wheel. Goodbye, goodbye. Now it's just me and my little guy. And the house felt so big, and I felt so small. The house felt so big, and I felt so small. That night I tucked you into bed. I will never forget how you sat up and said, "Is there another truck coming to our driveway? A truck that will take Mommy away." And the house felt so big, and I felt so small. The house felt so big, and I knew there would be moments that I'd miss, and I knew there would be space I couldn't feel, and I knew I'd come up short a million different ways, and I did, and I do, and I will. But like a February day, I will take your hand, squeeze it tightly, and say, "There's not another truck in that driveway." Your mom isn't going anywhere. Your mom is staying right here. Your mom isn't going anywhere. Your mom is staying right here no matter what. I'll be here when it all feels so big, till it all feels so small. When it all feels so big, till it all feels so small. Till it all feels so small.
Callie Kalova. When all the pretense is stripped away, we can finally be our true selves, our real selves, knowing that we are enough. We are made in the image and likeness, and that our very being is a miracle. That every one of you is here is actually miraculous, and you are a precious gift that is not to be wasted or forgotten. Pure potential that exists to be seen and heard, known and nurtured. When we do this for ourselves, or we do it for anyone else, when we do it for complete strangers, when we do it for each other, we are actually letting the light of the divine out in the world. Right? We are doing divine work, God work, holy work. To be there for other people, to see them past any behavior and see the truth of who they are. When we choose to love and support rather than to criticize and to mock and to say not good enough, we step into a place where we create a world where we do not tolerate bullying and shaming, putting down of others because who they are, the color of their nails, the color of their hair, or their gender identity, or any other non-important thing. There's a sign on my daughter's first grade classroom that says, "Mistakes are proof you're trying." Right? right? Mistakes are proof we're trying, folks. They're not flaws of our being. And I had to sit in a first grade classroom to hear that in a new way that made sense. It's not the critic who counts. We know the story, the Brene Brown story. She elevated Teddy Roosevelt to new heights again. We're talking, it's not the critic who counts. It's not the one who sits on the sidelines and tells you not good enough. You could have done better. What the hell do you think you're doing telling that story? Why? Why would we care about Evan Hansen? Why would we tell that story? It's not that critic who counts. It's the ones who's in the arena trying to tell the story, trying to make a difference in the world. The ones like you and I who have a mission to do, to be, to share. It's the one who gets bloodied and bruised. When we make room for differences, lift up idiosyncrasies and mistakes, we are all the richer. When we celebrate the entire spectrum of the human condition and stop trying to reach this thing that's perfection that never really existed in the first place. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Can we really just relax into the human experience and allow it to happen every step along the way? Then we can visualize a world that works for everyone, from the smallest to the largest, from the youngest to the oldest, and only see sky. All we see is sky forever. Dear Evan Hansen, today is going to be a great day, and here's why. Today, you're you, and that's enough.
All we see is sky for forever. We let the world pass by for forever. Feels like we could go on for forever this way. This way. All we see is light. Watch the sun burn bright. We could be alright for forever this way. All we see is sky for forever.
All I see is sky forever.
Oh, we need a round of applause for this amazing music ensemble. Starting on keys, we have Alex Goodhart. On drums, Brian Fisher. On bass, Mark Baum. On bells, whistles, and everything else, Carl Mantle. In choir, back row, the far left, we have John Trentadella. In the middle, we have David Montecarlo. On our right, we have our very own Tyler Kruger. Front row, in front of Tyler, we have Marty Goss. In the middle, Miss Rainbow. And the lovely Cindy. On stage, far left, we have Ryan Harvey, Ruby Day, Cleo Briggs, and Kelly Carter.
Thank you all. Misa Malone, our music director, Misa Malone.
Yeah, we can't leave Misa out of all this love. 'Cause
Yeah. Wow. What work went into this. We have just a quick couple of announcements, and then we'll close the
Well,
service.
we have our spiritual practices.
Yes.
So in your In your
connection card.
program,
Yeah.
I have it.
Yeah.
In your program, if you look on the bottom, on the inside, you will see that there are some spiritual practices. If you look on the connection card on the back, those same spiritual practices are there. So you can check them off, you can put them in the basket as you leave. They'll be held in consciousness to support you. We know that consciousness is intention. And then you also have your own version that you can take home with you. If you're watching on Livestream or on Facebook, YouTube, you'll find that there's a link for spiritual practices in the connection card that you can fill out as well. So the spiritual practices are make authentic connections. Right? Allow myself to be vulnerable, visualize a world that works for all, and see others with compassion. You can pick one, you can pick all, you can write your own in if there's something else that really resonated for you from today's lesson.
And if you're here for the first time, either online or here in the sanctuary, please let us know that on your connection card so we can send you a gift. And if you're here in person, we do have a couple gifts up front. You can help yourself too, as well on the table in the lobby.
Now, we always have a lot of upcoming things going on here. We're going to skip that next slide. Thank you. So you can join us live here in the room if you're vaccinated. You can join us on live stream if you are anywhere else in the country. I know we've got a lot of people from all over the country who are watching us. But we're following San Francisco's guidelines, which are that for any gathering, people need to be vaccinated. So if you are coming, please plan on bringing your proof of vaccination with you because we are checking them at the door.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you. Lisa Allman-Baldwin, who is here last Sunday, is doing her workshop this Wednesday. You can find out more information on our website or in your bulletins here. And you can sign up for her class, which is on 5 o'clock Pacific time this Wednesday. It's a great opportunity to connect again
and if you missed her talk last week, you can find it on YouTube.
As well.
We are painting the front of our building.
So
excited!
As you're sitting here right now, and as we're all, I'm sure you are sweating just as much as I am up here, and we will have permits. We affirm we will have
permits. We're affirming the permits
to get our air conditioning and all the other renovations. But in the meantime, we get to paint the building. We haven't gotten all the permits for everything else. But we have a plan, and we have some paint samples on the front of the building. If you would love it if you would take a moment to take one of the plans and one of the ballots downstairs and take a look outside to speak to us about the paint choices and what will be where, and cast your ballot. We want everyone's input. Only people who are members of Unity San Francisco's ballot will actually be counted for the final choice that's made, because it is, believe it or not, to paint the building, I bet you believe it, at San Francisco, is $55,000 just to paint the front, not even the back yet, right? Because it's tall and it's got lead on it, and we have to take care of the planet too, right? So we're gonna do that, and we're also preparing it for the mural.
Yes.
Right? So we've been visualizing this mural. Go talk about it.
We have been. So if you remember a year ago, we did a visioning, the whole community did a visioning, and we saw a lot of growing things, a lot of green as being part of the mural. As Ken and I were looking at the painting for the building itself, there are some choices that were made. The trim is going to be white because of our beautiful stained glass windows.
They look better with white borders.
They need a white border in order for the windows because it reflects the light. We have gold leaf paint because already we have gold leaf at the top of our building.
If you may have to go across the street to see it, but we have 2 gold spires on top of the building. So we want to match that in the painting of the building.
So we're going to match that. So that's going to be the trim as a gold leaf paint.
We're not actually putting gold on the
building.
We're better stewards than that.
But we liked the idea. You know us. We were like, gold leaf.
Gold leaf.
But then we found the paint. And then there is the rest of the building, which is a lot. That is going to be, so you've got 4 choices that you can choose from. The stone is going to be that dark gray, which is on the bottom. And then we either have that green, a blue, and there's 2 whites because Ken is here.
And with that, so you can become a member as well. So you can become a member of Unity San Francisco. The requirements are that they give you voting rights for all of these decisions that we do make, but the requirements are that you have regular attendance, that you're a regular contributor, doesn't matter the dollar amount, but that you're a regular contributor, that you've taken classes here at Unity San Francisco, and that you want to be part of this community. So there's applications downstairs. You can fill out an application if you want to do that as well.
If you want to become a board member or you want to step into leadership with
or a prayer chaplain,
you need to be a member to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So see us after. We'll have more information about that. Reverend Elizabeth just stepped out, but she's here, and the sound meditation is so incredible on Sunday mornings.
Yes, let's give her
so
some love.
just like make
It's
sure
beautiful.
you get a chance to check out the sound meditations on Sunday mornings from 10:15 to 10:45. And I don't know what I'm looking at, Henry,
We're
what you're pointing.
going to join everybody downstairs for our hospitality. As I said earlier, we have an incredible spread. If you're in Zoom with us, we are going to have that set up downstairs so that people can chat with you even in the Zoom room while hospitality is happening.
Yeah, great. So thank you to everybody who made today's service possible. We've already said to the music team, thank you. Amazing, amazing. Thank you all. Their hospitality is going to be fabulous downstairs, off the hook. Stay for hospitality and join us. Stay for the community connection. And we have an affirmation. And we'll close with this. I lovingly create a world of safety, equity, and equality. Can we know that together? I lovingly create a world of safety, equity, and equality. So I invite you at home, and I invite you all here in the sanctuary to stand with us. Hi there, Joshua, and I can invite my little one. He can come up on platform with me, and he can come up here. He will be found. Yeah, we're gonna sing You Will Be Found as our closing song. So Deanne, stay with us and sing.
The dark comes crashing through, when we need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun go shining in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. When you're broken on the ground, like the sun streaming in, you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
Happy Sunday, everyone! Happy Sunday! Yay! Woo! Hi, Joshua!
Awesome.
Miss Misa Malone.
Oh yeah, baby. Let's hear it for Lisa.
Duplicate page?
Yeah, I have page 17 twice. So sorry.